Hello guys and welcome as always to Let's Talk About It. On today's episode we're going to be talking about the subject of pop culture conspiracies. So when you talk about pop culture, eventually you're more than likely going to get onto the subject of the conspiracies connected to it. And most of us will already be aware of the conspiracies that the moon landing was faked, the Titanic never really sunk, and that Elvis Presley faked his death. But there are hundreds more pop culture conspiracies that you may not be aware of, and here are just some of them. So first up, we have the conspiracy that the pop punk princess Avril Lavigne is in fact dead, or more accurately, the real Avril Lavigne died and was replaced by a lookalike. This theory can be traced back to a 2011 Brazilian blog post called Avril Está Morta, or Avril is Dead, which pretty much kicked off the entire conspiracy and led to fans scouring the internet and video footage and magazine interviews, etc., to find any evidence they could to support this theory. Which eventually led to the most common explanation of this theory being that, after the release of her debut album Let Go in 2002, the pressures of fame and celebrity, along with the death of her granddad, sent Avril into a pit of depression. And eventually, in 2003, she is said to have committed suicide. Now, rather than let this become public knowledge, her family, her friends, her record label, anyone close to her, decided the best course of action would be to keep her tragic death a secret. Because money, and the lack of morals, and money. But how then could Avril's career have continued on past 2003? Well, luckily, she already had a body double hired who would be used to distract the paparazzi to give the skater boy singer some privacy. This was, or technically is, a woman called Melissa. Now, Avril and Melissa had become close friends, and over the course of their friendship, Avril had taught Melissa how to sing like her, perform like her, play the guitar like her, act like her, which in itself is a little bit suspicious. And with this knowledge in mind, every single person involved in the cover-up of Avril Lavigne's suicide decided that the only thing they could possibly do was to have Melissa take on the Avril persona full-time. Because money, and a lack of morals, and money. And any evidence to support this conspiracy theory comes from things such as changes to her appearance after 2003, lyrics in her songs that seem to be alluding to what happened, and also from a photo shoot in which Avril has the name Melissa written on her hand. Now then, it's not inconceivable to think that these things could have happened. But what if Melissa had actually been the one who created the opportunity to become a mega pop star by killing off the real Avril Lavigne? Well, that's exactly the kind of conspiracy theory that surrounds another pop icon, this one being Lady Gaga. In 2008, Lady Gaga was working with a promising young talent called Lina Morgana on her song Wonderland, which was due to be released. Sadly, before this could happen, Lina Morgana jumped to her death from a New York hotel balcony. And this is where the conspiracy theory starts, because it's said that Lady Gaga was growing increasingly paranoid that Morgana was more talented than her and would become a bigger pop star than her. And so, to stop this, along with her agent Rob Fazari, with whom Gaga was romantically linked, the two of them murdered Lina Morgana by throwing her from that hotel balcony. Because money. And lack of morals. And money. But the alleged killing wasn't a fit of jealous rage, it was in fact pre-planned. Because for months before this, Lady Gaga had been stealing Lina Morgana's stage persona. Everything from her sound, her style, her outfits, her presence on stage, and even her backstory of having a difficult childhood. And then, a mere 2 weeks after her friend's death, Lady Gaga was catapulted into pop superstardom to become the musical icon she is today. But of course, as is often the case with conspiracy theories involving musicians, Lady Gaga has been leaving clues to what happened ever since. For example, in the music video for the song Paparazzi, Lady Gaga is thrown from a balcony. a direct reference perhaps to Lina Morgana's death. And there is also a newspaper scene with a headline that reads, "Lady No More Gaga," or, as it is said to cryptically mean, "Lady No Morgana," or "Lady Gaga without Lina Morgana." And the song "Monster" is also said to be full of references to Lina Morgana's death. But whatever the truth may be, and however she got there is no denying the impact that Lady Gaga has had on pop culture. Just as big of an impact as this next person has had on a different area of pop culture. Because if there is one success story to eclipse all other success stories of modern times, then the story of J.K. Rowling's rise to stardom as the author of the worldwide phenomenon Harry Potter is definitely the one. So most of us know the charming backstory that J.K. Rowling was a financially struggling single mother who wrote the first Harry Potter book in cafes and on trains, and then saw it go on to sell millions of copies worldwide, be translated into multiple languages, and become a super successful film franchise. Now, whilst a lot of people wouldn't question that, there are many people who believe that this is all too good to be true, and J.K. Rowling is in fact not a real person. So this conspiracy theory seems to have started in around 2005, when Norwegian film director Nina Grunfeld claims that there was no way that one person could have produced the Harry Potter series. And her reasoning behind this theory, which many people support, is that the body of work produced by J.K. Rowling is too vast and too detailed and came out far too quickly over just a 10-year period to be the work of a single person. With the theory going on to claim that Harry Potter is in fact the product of a group of writers and advertisers who got together and created the perfect recipe for making a super successful book series. And the woman we know to be J.K. Rowling is in fact an actress hired to play the author at events and public appearances, making her as fictional as the wizarding books she never wrote. Well guys, that brings me to the end of another video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I'd love a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. Otherwise, please leave your comments below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.